Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. All right, guys, so I know that I said that we're not doing hot, messy topics today because we do have the Queen's funeral. So we're posting a couple pre-records, but we didn't feel like it was necessary to go live at the same time as the funeral. But we do have the Rick and Kelly interview tonight premiering at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 4:30 p.m. Pacific. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. That is a no holds barred conversation. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. After that at 8:30, we're going live for our members only Let's Whine About It, where we're going to talk about, well, a little bit of the behind the scenes when it came to the Rick and Kelly interview, our travels, and there are a few other things that we want to talk about, like our first 3 guests on Hot Messy Podcast, which drops September 30th. I have to say, we are inching up towards 100 ratings already. And that's like huge for the podcast world. And we only have the trailer drop. So this is incredible. Your guys' support means everything. Thank you so much. If you haven't, go into the description of this video, click on the podcast, go leave us a rating, listen to the trailer. Every little bit counts. I love you guys. Let's talk some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before we do, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so surprise, surprise, we have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills drama. We have Cryptic post. We have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills after show. Lots to talk about. But Lisa Rinna recently walked in one of the fashion shows for New York Fashion Week, and Interview magazine caught up with her, and they asked her if being a villain paid off because she was the only castmate to recently walk in a show. To be fair, the other castmates are also doing promos for new movies and, different shows coming out. So they all are kind of doing their own little side projects. But yeah, it's Fashion Week. I'll give her flowers on that. She said, "What do you think?" And the interviewer replied, "Mic drop." She said yes. Then she was asked by another fan about her exit rumors, and they said, "Are the rumors true? Will we be seeing you next season?" She said, "We'll see." What does Diana Jenkins say? "So you say." She said, "I don't know. We'll see." And she posted at 1.2, and we talked about this, hating Lisa Rinna for playing a shady villain is like hating the mailman for delivering your mail. It's their fucking jobs, you morons. This is the thing. Kelly, when I was speaking with Kelly in our recent interview, she said that at one point, Andy Cohen even talked to her and said, you make a great housewife, but you're a mess on social media. We've seen a lot of housewives be messes on social media. We've seen it from Beverly Hills, Orange County. We've seen it from Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of New York. We've seen a lot of messes on social media. I guess it just depends to what extent are you going to take that messiness. I mean, yep. Morons, apparently. I'm just wondering, what is right and what is wrong at this point. But before we get into the Kyle and Dorit Aspen drama, because there's a lot coming up this week, and we're finally getting the Kathy Hilton meltdown, which we're not going to get to see because it's not caught on camera. They were at the Caribou Club. There were no cameras allowed in the Caribou Club, which means it's literally Kathy Hilton's word versus Lisa and Erica's. I mean, that doesn't really... What? So since we don't have any of it playing out, it's like he said, or she said, she said, she said, she said. That's exactly what it's like. But Lisa Rinna went on Instagram and posted Sunday truths. This is like really giving herself a lot of credit. "I'm like the LeBron James of housewives. At this point, you can't afford to lose me." I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, naturally, Bravo fans are quite divided about Lisa Rinna's role on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I feel like I am too. I think she's a mess on social media. This season, she took it to a whole new level, but I do wonder what would the show look like without her. One person said, 100%, I will not be watching Housewives if Lisa Rinna is gone. Another person said she's literally always worth watching. Don't say she doesn't keep it entertaining. Other fans called Lisa Rinna a legend and the greatest housewife ever, with one fan commenting, "We got your back. Don't let Sutton and Garcelle trolls bug you out." Mean Girls to the left, Fox Force 5, center, and on point. But on the other hand, some fans believe Lisa Rinna is delusional. And one person wrote, "We all thought the same about LVP, who we love, but the show went on without her with high ratings. The show will do well without Rinna. They will survive just fine without her. Gag, Beverly Hills will be just fine without her. Don't let the door hit you." Some fans were saying that Lisa Rinna is full of herself and that she was doubling down on the villain role. I mean, to go on and say, "I'm like the LeBron James of housewives at this point, you can't afford to lose me." Vicky Gumbelson said the same thing. Ramona Singer is also reportedly not being asked back. She thought that she was a shoo-in for every single season. I'm waiting for something to happen with Teresa Giudice because she calls it the Teresa Show. There are housewives who get this sort of ego involved. And when they do, the network sees it and they're like, oh, you think that you're not, you're not replaceable. Well, let us show you exactly how replaceable you are, which is never a good sign. Okay. Now, again, before we get into the Kyle Richards Dorit drama from Aspen, we got another blind item, which I'm always trying to figure these out. And I'm trying to figure out if these are even true or not true. But Crazy Days and Nights, they came out with a blind item saying, speaking of fights, apparently this housewife exploded when she found out from one of her children about her husband's affair. I never know who, like, okay, so give us a clue. Is it West Coast, East Coast? I always feel like they're talking about someone in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills sort of franchise. And I don't know who this one pertains to, but I did want to bring this up so you guys could comment below and give me, if you have, some sort of inclination or you think that you have a hint as to who it's about, go ahead and comment below because we definitely want to pick your brain on this. Also, on top of that, since I keep mentioning Kyle Richards and Dorit Kemsley, apparently there was more that happened behind the scenes that we didn't get to see. I love a good never before seen scenes, especially when it comes to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and this drama that was built up surrounding the Aspen trip that really so far has not delivered to the extent that we thought it would. But this is what was said. Kyle said on the after show, I did not want to talk to Dorit. Dorit and I are very close, and I have been talking about how I wanted to buy her kids like little cowboy boots. I was so excited. The fact that she didn't show up because she was with Diana Jenkins and Erica really didn't sit well with me. According to Kyle, she actually got the whole crew involved amid the feud, and what happened was Dorit wanted to have a conversation with Kyle. Kyle was pissed, livid, upset that Dorit did not show up to her event where they were burning the hats, setting them on fire, having their, names or initials, I guess not engraved, but what is that? Branded into the hats. She was upset because she put together this entire event, but Dorit wanted to be there for her friend Erica because Erica was going through it. Dorit was pretty much explaining to Kyle, you didn't see her the night before. She was really hurt. She's going through a lot, and I don't want to kick someone while they're down, so I just want to be here for her. Even though I love you so much, I'm so sorry that I'm missing out on this. And Kyle was like, no, that's bullshit. You helped her pack her bags and leave my house in the middle of the night, and then you stayed over with her and Diana, and then on top of that, you end up hanging out with them at a cafe when I'm putting together this whole event. You know what? Don't come to dinner. I don't need to see you. I don't need you in my presence. I don't want you around. Just point blank, period. She said when she showed up at my house, I actually told the crew, I don't want to see her. Don't let her in my house. It was that bad. But she basically fought her way into my house, and I was so upset, and she was so upset. I mean, Dorit shared that I said, there's no two ways about it. I'm showing up. This relationship means a lot to me. Kyle knew that I was excited about this. I wanted to explain to her that I love you. This was not about you. This was not about me choosing someone other than you. This was about being with someone who was in a lot of pain. She said that she didn't expect to be met with so much anger, but Kyle did admit I was very emotional. And we saw that. We saw that on the show. I wish we would get some more of these never before seen scenes and some of the altercations with the producers and behind the scenes, because if we got that, it would be so much more raw and real as opposed to some of this drama that comes off very manufactured. And I feel like the Bravo fans are way too smart for it at this point. But I don't want to just give you that information and not ask what you think. Lisa Rinna saying that she's like the LeBron James of housewives. They can't afford to lose her. What are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about this blind item? And how do you feel about the fact that we never get the good stuff like the never before seen scenes? And don't forget, guys, tonight, Kelly Dodd, Rick Leventhal interview dropping at 7:30 p.m. It's premiering at that time. It's almost an hour long, so I'll be with you guys in the live chat. I'm sure it will be a wild one. Hopefully you guys go over, check it out in my community tab. It's also set as my trailers for my channel. So you can go smash that like button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. And then right after, for our members only, and that link is in the description of this video as well, you can go click on Let's Whine About It, because we're doing that at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, where we're talking about the behind the scenes of our trip to California. And we're giving our first 3 podcast guests for Hot Messy Podcasts. So lots to talk about. Smash that like button, get subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.